Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to my next video. It's been a little while since I uploaded. I'm hoping to get a toy hunt up for you guys soon. It's just I haven't been able to get to the store recently, and there's really not much I've been looking for recently either. That'll probably change soon, but today I wanted to talk about my favorite part of collecting, and that's Hot Toys. So today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite Hot Toys figures that I own. Obviously I do not own every Hot Toys figure ever. That's a really tall order. But as you can see, I do have, I think, about 50-60 figures in my collection. So I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite with a one honorable mention. And just kind of give you guys some pointers of what you might want to look for and just kind of my personal taste. It's something that I love talking about Hot Toys. So let's get right into the list. All right, so I wanted to start out with an honorable mention because it was really hard picking just 5 figures from my whole collection of about 50 figures. So my honorable mention, and I picked this guy. This guy probably would have been on the list, but I figure he's a bigger figure and he's a lot more expensive, so he should probably be really good. And so that's why I didn't feel like I could really compare him with the other figures. And that's the Infinity War Thanos. This is one of my favorite figures, obviously. He's kind of like my number 6 favorite. He might be a little higher, like I said, but just because he's a more expensive figure, I felt like he should be. It's harder to judge him on the same level. But yeah, this is a terrific figure. This was going to be I think this was the first Hot Toys figure I ever ordered back, or like right after I saw Infinity War. There's so much hype behind that movie. I was with my friends saying, hey guys, wouldn't it be crazy if I bought this? And I bought it and I loved it. It wasn't the first Hot Toys I ever received, but it was the first one I ordered, I think. So he does have a special place in my heart for that. But like I said, this is a terrific figure. I think it's definitely worth getting because there's not really many Marvel villains they make anymore. You definitely want to pick one up, and what better one to get than Thanos. I am hoping to get the Battle Damage Endgame one, so that might overtake this figure, but I don't know. I love the Infinity War look so much. It's just a beautiful figure. I'll keep this head sculpt on, but the other one's just as good. And I think right now you could get this guy for a really good price, and I think he's really worth it if you're interested in it and if you're a big Marvel fan. Okay, so this next figure, I was going back and forth on whether I should put him on the list because he's my most recent Hot Toys figure. I think I just bought him, like a week ago. I got him in the mail like, I don't know, 3-4 days ago. But he's terrific, and I love him so much, and I'm so happy I was able to get him, and for a really good price. And that's the Hot Toys Batman v Superman Battle Damaged Armored Batman. I didn't think I'd ever get a Ben Affleck Batman, to tell you the truth, because I really love the Dark Knight movies, and there was a while where I really didn't like Batman v Superman. I rewatched it, the extended cut, in preparation for the Snyder Cut, and I actually really loved it, which made me want to get a Batman figure. I do already have Superman. You might be able to see him in the corner there. That's the Justice League one. That was my first DC figure. But I did really want a Batman to go against him. And this is the one I really wanted. Because I don't know, even if you don't like the movie, I think you gotta admit this might be the coolest Batman kind of costume ever. As much as I love the Christian Bale costumes, I don't think they are quite as cool as this. But this figure's awesome. I actually got him loose, and he's missing the gun. That's the only accessory he was missing, which I'm never going to display my Batman with the gun. But I love this figure so good. The Ben Affleck portrait, like the half portrait, is spectacular. He comes with this kryptonite spear, which is amazing. I think he's pretty pricey. Like I said, I was able to fortunately get him for about a little under 300, which I was really happy about. But I love it so much, and I'm so happy I have a Batman in my collection now. And I think an armored Batman, whichever one you get, there's like 3 of them, I think it's worth getting, because especially if you like the Snyder kind of Batman movies, he's just incredible. The only thing is the articulation's not the best, but you get him just kind of standing there, and I think he looks perfect. So yeah, that's my number 5 pick. All right, so for my number 4 pick, I have a Star Wars one. Star Wars is like the main thing I collect. It's probably Star Wars 1, Marvel 2, DC 3. But this is the first Star Wars figure I'm picking, and that's Beskar Mandalorian. And I have the deluxe version. This is the one with the child. I have the deluxe version, which probably helps, but I think regardless, you're getting a spectacular figure. I have a feeling a lot of people would probably put this even higher than just number 4 on their lists, but I think it's amazing. It's incredible. I almost put the Durasteel one with like the bronze armor instead. I figure he uses this armor a lot more. And you can still get this one on Sideshow. You can get both versions. And they'll probably make a Season 2 one. If you're a fan of The Mandalorian, I think you definitely need to get a Mandalorian and the Child. Deluxe set or not, you could get the regular one where you basically just kind of get the two of them if you don't care about the extra pram. I got the extra pram to put with the Durasteel one. I think that looks really cool. This figure's amazing. It comes with a ridiculous amount of accessories that you'll probably never use. But what the cool thing is, if you have the Durasteel one, you can put all those accessories with him, which I think really helps. But this is just an insane figure. I've had him for a couple months now. It's so worth getting. The articulation is really good. I know some people complain it's not as good as they would want, but I think it's really good on this figure. It's what you'd hope for, at least. He could get his gun holding right. I've got him kind of holding his spear, or what is it called? The pulse rifle, I think it's called. It's an incredible figure. Definitely. If you're a Star Wars fan, Mandalorian fan, anything like that, just pick him up. Like, it's one that you're not going to regret getting. You can still get him for retail, and when he sells out, he's probably going to do really well on the aftermarket. So yeah, definitely recommend picking this guy up. He is number 4 on my list. So moving on to number 3, I was really surprised by this because I did not think I was going to have 2 DC figures on my list because I don't really have many. But this figure is incredible. It's one that this is one of the Hot Toys that I knew I wanted as soon as I started collecting. However, he'd been long sold out. I hear he might be getting a re-release soon, so if they do that, that's probably a really good way to get him. I even might get a second one because I love this figure so much. And that is the Dark Knight Joker. I've got him posed with his pencil. The one I got is incomplete. Unfortunately, he's missing, I think, 1 or 2 of his guns. But he's got most of it, and a couple of his hands. But he's got most of his accessories, and this was my first DX figure. Even though he wasn't complete with the box, is just crazy to have the eye feature. Blew me away when I got him. It's just one of the most fun figures I've had to pose. I mean, I bought him and got him in the mail, and the first thing I did was I was posing with him, and I put the Dark Knight on. And just because this is my favorite interpretation of the Joker, like, I really like Joaquin Phoenix too. I'm hoping to get one of the third-party figures of him, but this is still my favorite. It's incredible. Like I said, I don't have a Batman yet to go with him, but they're re-releasing the Dark Knight Rises one, so I'll definitely be getting that when it comes out to go with him. But I hear they might be re-releasing this guy too, so maybe don't pay secondary market prices for him yet, because if the re-release comes out, definitely you'll probably want to get that one. Like I said, I'll probably get that one too, just so I can have one with the jacket, one without the jacket, and then I'll get all the accessories that I'm missing with this one. But it's so good. I'm so happy I was able to get him. And for a good price too. Like I said, I got him loose. I really don't care too much about like getting the box. As long as I have, like, most of the time I know the pose I want to kind of have him in. As long as I have those accessories, I'm happy. So yeah, incredible figure, and I love it so much. Okay, so moving on to number 2. This is the figure I thought was definitely going to be number 1, and I think he might actually be my favorite. It's just my number 1 pick has some more sentimental value to me. But this is and I also kind of felt bad putting this at number 1 because it's a really hard figure to this is the most I've ever paid for a Hot Toys figure. And that's the Hot Toys Anakin Skywalker. I have him posed where I had him kind of doing the Force thing with Obi-Wan, so he's kind of meant to look like that. So if you look at him from the front, it's a little hard to see. But yeah, I paid about $400 for this figure, which I think if you compare it to what it's going for now is a steal, because he's going for $700 I saw, which is crazy. I would say at that point, just wait for the Clone Wars version to come out, because that's going to be coming out within like the next year or so. And that looks really cool, and I probably get it because I'm getting all the other Clone Wars figures. But I was just so happy when I got this. It was like this one and the Joker, which was the last one on my list. They're like the 2 figures that, like, years ago I was considering buying them. That one was when I was still into buying like Black Series, Marvel Legends, and that kind of thing. Before I really went full in on Hot Toys, I considered getting them, but I didn't, and I really regretted it when I got into Hot Toys. But I'm so happy I've been able to get him now. He's an insane figure. The Hayden Christensen head sculpt is so good. I'm so happy I have him with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan probably would have been like number 7 on the list or something. But he's incredible. So much fun to pose. I got him brand new in the box. So he's all the accessories. He's in great condition. The leather's great. I'm so happy to have him. Like I said, if you were able to get him, like, I honestly think it was worth the $400 I paid for it. If you can get it for that price, I think it might be worth it for you if you can afford it. If you just want an Anakin, but you don't want to pay through the roof, maybe wait for the Clone Wars one, or maybe they'll re-release this guy. Well, I'm not sure because they did the Dark Side one too, but I'm hoping they'll do some sort of, maybe even a Clone Wars like season 4, season 5 look would be really cool. It'd be a little similar just with the kind of clone armor on it, but like I said, this is my personal list, and I just love this figure. So that's why he's number 2. Okay, so this is number 1 on my list. If I were to rate this purely on like quality, I don't know if this would be number 1. It probably would still be on the list, probably closer to 4 or 5, but it has so much sentimental value to me because the more I think about it, I think this was actually the first Hot Toys I ever bought, and I think he was in stock at the time. I'll just tell a little bit about this story. Me and my friends in my one class, we were all just big nerds and huge into Marvel at the time. It was right as Infinity War was coming out, and I would look at the Sideshow website when we would get done with our work in class. I'd be like, guys, look at these figures. They look so good. It's a shame I'll never get one because they're too expensive. And then one day, I had a little extra money for one of my paychecks, and I was like, I think I'm gonna buy this. And I bought it. And it was just really cool. And everyone was like, there's no way you're getting this. And I got it. And it's just started my obsession with buying Hot Toys. I've just kind of cut out Black Series and Marvel Legends completely. I've even stopped with the Funko Pops. I'm not really buying those anymore. Really going all in on Hot Toys. And I'm so happy I did. And I wouldn't have started down this route without buying this figure. And that is the Hot Toys concept art Captain America. Captain America is my favorite Marvel character, one of just my favorite movie characters in general. The Chris Evans portrayal of him is so good. The first Captain America movie was the first movie I ever saw, first Marvel movie I ever saw in theaters, I should say. And that was really special to me. And when they revealed him, I think it was like 2018 figure. It was probably around 2018 when I bought him. Sometime around that. I think I actually got him like right before we saw Infinity War. Maybe it was Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I remember I got him right before, like the day me and a bunch of my friends went to go see a Marvel movie, which was awesome. I was so happy to have him. I didn't really even know I don't even remember how I had him displayed because I didn't have these shelves at the time, but it was just so crazy to me that I bought one of these figures because at the time I was still used to the Marvel Legends kind of $20 figures, which are still really good, and I'll occasionally buy one if I think they're really cool, but to me, these Hot Toys figures are just where it's at for me. And I wouldn't have started buying them if it wasn't for this figure. And I think it's spectacular. I don't have the Endgame Captain America yet. I probably will be getting it. But before that, other than that, I think this is the best Captain America to get. If you want just a different look, I think I have the Infinity War one too. I think this is what I wish he would have looked like in Infinity War, to tell you the truth. And I think it's worth getting, even though he didn't look like it in the movies. I still think this is probably my favorite Captain America figure. And it's my favorite Hot Toys that I own right now. So yeah, that's my list, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your top 5 lists are. And let me know what you thought of my list. So thanks so much for watching, and have a good day, everyone.